Welcome back to Light Muse. We are your hosts, Flannery Underwood.
And Jessica Kubasi. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I'm supposed to be introing this one because...
You got the intro.
Yeah, I got the intro for this one. So I actually told Flannery about this. I don't know. You've probably seen it floating around Twitter. It was like trending on Twitter. The Khloe Kardashian unedited photo situation. I mean, she had her lawyers working overtime removing this picture from the internet. Like if you posted this photo, it would get copyright claimed right away, which is so crazy to me. Like every single tweet that had this picture was being taken down. And people were trying to test it too. They're like, let me test to see if her lawyers will take this down, and it actually got removed. So for those who aren't aware of what happened, I think it was about like a week and a half ago, a photo surfaced of Khloe Kardashian at like a private event. She was like in a bikini, and it looked to be an unedited photo of her. And there were rumors saying that her grandma had posted it, or there was a family member someone said that it was mistakenly posted by an assistant. Basically, this photo was not supposed to be on the internet. Like Khloe didn't want it up. And then it just kind of spread like wildfire. It was like the first photo, well, not maybe the first photo, but one of the more recent photos of her that was unedited that we were finally seeing, compared to, you know, the Kardashians and the Jenners do heavily retouch their photos at times. So we're finally seeing this unedited photo, and then they're just trying to take it down. And then what happened was, I don't think that they could really compete with the internet. I mean, people were not letting this photo being taken down. So what ended up happening was Khloe made a statement on her Instagram, and I feel like the way that she handled it was not the best way. What she did was she posted a statement basically saying, and I have it here, for over a decade now in photos, every single flaw and imperfection has been microanalyzed and made fun of to the smallest detail, and I'm reminded of them every day by the world. And when I take that criticism to use it as motivation to get myself in the best shape of my life and to even help others with the same struggles, I am told I couldn't have... Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. Oh, okay. So what she ended up doing was she did a live stream of herself on Instagram, lifting up her sweater and showing her body at different types of angles. And then she posted a statement, and I will read that statement real quick. I'll read some of the statement. How about that? And you saw this, right? Didn't you, Flannery?
Yeah. It's a pretty long statement. Yeah.
It is. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Maybe I should just go on her Instagram. I don't go on their Instagrams, to be honest with you. Let me tell you why. It does make me feel bad about myself. I'm just going to tell you. Like seeing their perfect life and just everything's perfect on their Instagram, and I just don't want to see it. I want to see like a possum or like a garbage can or like a water bottle. My cat. Real. Okay, let's see here. She made a post on Instagram, and before you can even get to the statement, the actual statement, you have to go through videos of her showing her body like in the mirror, and then she did a live stream where she lifted up her shirt to show her body. And then there's a photo of her lifting up her shirt and showing her stomach. So once you get through that, then you get to the statement which says, "Hey guys, this is me and my body unretouched and unfiltered. The photo that was posted this week is beautiful, but as someone who has struggled with body image her whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering, in bad light, or doesn't capture your body the way it is, after working so hard to get it to this point, and then shares it to the world, you should have every right to ask for it to not be shared, regardless of who you are." She goes on to say that, you know, she's been ridiculed most of her life, you know, people compare her to her sisters. She has a lot of pressure. People say Khloe's the fat sister, that she's the ugly sister. Her dad must not be her real dad because she looks so different. So she goes on to talk about all of that. I think it's interesting looking at this type of situation as photographers. To me, when I see a photo of the Kardashians or Jenners, I know when it's retouched and when it's not retouched. And the issue for me is that the average person doesn't know when a photo is retouched. And that's the problem. So then you're kind of like showcasing this life and these photos to all these people, making it seem like it's real, but there's a lot of work that goes into those photos. And people compare themselves to those pictures. So
Yeah, and people don't totally understand sometimes what goes into some of like the high-end retouching, because some of these images that you're seeing on Instagram where people are taking them into programs or apps like Facetune, especially, where you can warp and distort your face or your body. They're pretty like crude editing apps, and so you can like really really tell, especially as photographers, we can completely pick out the images that have been like warped, or the nose has been pushed in. Like little tweaks will really like catch our eye, but there is a whole other world beyond that in the professional world of like high-end beauty retouching, which you can get very very in depth with that and do these like micro adjustments in these massive high-res images where you really could not tell the difference. And yeah, it can be a little bit terrifying, and I think we've definitely seen like the pendulum swing between like when all these apps first started coming out and people were like going crazy with them, and we're still definitely in that phase, I think, a little bit. But I do see there's more of a community that's kind of swinging back to the middle or the other side of like, no, we just want to see like natural looking faces, real people. We don't want everything to be like retouched or over edited. Like even like filters. Like I remember my first Instagram post, they had like, what was it? Like the heavy Instagram.
oh gosh,
like,
you couldn't even see your picture at the end of it.
It was like so grainy and
Like the gradient,
so filtered out. Yeah, I know. So we've come a long way, but yeah, I think as like professionals, we definitely can like spot that out easier than most people. And I think that's just a really dangerous thing for young girls, young people in general, growing up, that they're looking at these celebrities who have a lot of work done to them, and they think that's kind of the norm, that's what they should look like. And it's it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes put into these bodies that aren't necessarily real anymore. But yeah, retouching can definitely be a dangerous place.
How do we think about how Khloe responded to this with the Instagram post? She did a live stream. By the way, the live stream, some people pointed out that she used a filter to kind of slim down her stomach in the live stream. So she could have easily been using a filter while showing off her body, which, I mean, why can't we just like be honest and just be like, okay, yeah, it was an unedited picture. I didn't want it to come out because I'm not looking that great. Because look, you think I look good in an unedited picture? I don't. Sometimes I look like a garbage can. But at the same time, she could have had a really big impact, is what I'm trying to say. She could have really inspired so many people and really turned the narrative around.
Yeah, I do think, though, her statement, which I did read, it was pretty long. I actually really liked her statement.
Really?
When it came down to it. I liked it because I think, there is no way either of us could ever fully relate to all the years of like scrutiny that she's experienced on like every single detail of her body. And I was like refreshing myself on body dysmorphia this week while we were talking about this stuff. And I was looking at like the definition of it, and it was, this is on like the Mayo Clinic, but it says that body dysmorphia disorder is a mental health disorder in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. A flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by others, but you may feel so embarrassed, ashamed, or anxious that you may avoid social situations. And I think, thinking of it like this is a mental health disorder. Like this is something that your brain has like been wired and programmed to think and react to. And when you've been in the public eye for almost your entire life, and literally every part of your body has been like put on blast or commented about, or like dragged in the mud, like I can't even imagine to what level mentally she's had to like cope with that. And I think her statement like touches a little bit on that of like, listen guys, like I've been through a lot, but I know a lot of other people struggle with this too. And I know the pressure to what it feels like not to feel like pretty enough or good enough. And that's okay. Like, you know, we're all beautiful, but like it really comes from within. And I think that there's one statement she made about, you know, people around you can tell you that they love you so much and they think that you're so beautiful, but you have to believe that that has to come from within you. And again, it just kind of goes back to that like mental disorder. Like if you can't work through that in your mind and you can't see your worth, then like no matter how many people tell you, you're just like, you're just not going to believe it. But I liked her statement. I did. But I also thought like how she handled it in the beginning. It's like for you to like bring out the big guns of your like celebrity lawyers to like scrub that picture for the internet. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you have the right to do that. But like I don't know.
It was
I
a little
just,
much.
I feel like
It's like once
resources
it's on the
could
internet.
be put in a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like how much money did she
It's a
spend
rough
doing
one.
that? And then it's still on
I
the
do think
internet.
it would be different. I know. What do you think though, Jess, about like the fact that she wasn't the one who posted it? Like it was someone else who took a picture that wasn't approved by her. Like what are your thoughts on that?
The thing is, I get it because it was like in the privacy of her home, and I don't know. I'm kind of I understand where she's coming from. And you know, I like her text statement. Okay, the text was great. I think it really comes across genuine. But then I think the pictures and the live stream are what really threw me off. I think that's what kind of like it kind of brought down the statement to me. Cause what she's saying, cause then like what she's saying and that in the text statement, and then like the pictures, and again it appeared that she was using like a slimming filter for her stomach. People pointed it out on Reddit, and I could definitely notice it. So it's kind of like, okay, let the statement live on its own. I do understand where she's coming from. It must be really like a lot of pressure to deal with the constant standards that are being set for her. But I do want to point out that the Kardashians and Jenners have also contributed and set this unrealistic beauty standard. I just have to say that, like, they contributed to it so much, you know, because they almost can't keep up with their own standards that they set, in a sense. But I do understand, like, you know, she's probably at the pool in her house, and then a family member takes a photo of her and uploads it. Like, I get that. I get it. Like, there's some unflattering pictures of me I wouldn't want on the internet. So I definitely, it's conflicting, because it's like, if it was her grandma, okay, like that, like grandma's probably gonna want to post pictures of you, and she probably didn't. I don't think it came from a malicious place. And honestly, I think she looked amazing in the photo, if it means anything. And a lot of people were saying that she did look amazing, and they were praising her for it. So I really felt like she could have taken this moment and really just embraced it and been like, okay, this is me, but without doing the live stream and without trying to like prove her point and like, this is my real body and, you know, all that stuff. I think the text should have just lived on its own. But then think about like paparazzi photos. Paparazzi just take photos of you wherever, and fans may take photos of you. But as Khloe said, like, you would be ready to take those photos because you're in public. So I get both sides of it.
Yeah. You know, there's that TikTok trend where it's like, bodies who look like this also look like this. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I love those.
So it's like, yeah, which I think are great, but that whole trend is a whole other podcast conversation, because a lot of people have been doing those who have like model bodies, and you're like, your bodies are already like the beauty standard, you know? It's like, and I believe there's like no shame in any body type, size, anything. Like, we shouldn't be shaming people who like are happy with their bodies or not happy with their bodies. But yeah, that actually, and this is just like a side note for us, that there was a whole blow up, now that I'm mentioning this, that maybe we should do another podcast on it, because there was this video that came out of like a model who did one of those, and like people blew up because they're like, dude, your body is like beauty standard perfect. Like, why would you like post that? That's like so dumb. But anyways, the videos that are coming out that have body adjustments on them, that is a whole new part of social, where before it was just the Facetune with still images, but now you can actually have a video file where you have adjusted your body. And I think, I mean, as technology advances, we're just gonna probably see better versions of this, which is also terrifying. I think in the end, like, we're all gonna be little Sims in a computer, right? So who cares? Like,
we're all gonna have clear skin,
a hologram, clear skin, great hair. You know, it'll be like Ready Player One. It'll be all in a simulation. So We're just in this weird in between where people really are like not seeing their bodies as like they should, and it's super detrimental. But yeah, high end retouching or any retouching can be detrimental for people who don't see it out the gate.
Good point, because now there are ways that you can edit your face, body in a video, and usually people wouldn't think like, oh, you can do that stuff in video. Like, they have literally skin filters that blur your skin. Like, I was watching this one K-drama, and their skin was like always perfect, and I'm like, okay, it looks like there's a filter, right? So I asked my friend, and she's like, oh yeah, there's definitely a filter on that show. And I'm like, you know, with like, for us, we have a background in retouching and image editing. You know, we work with lighting and professional models, makeup, hair, and all that stuff. So we kind of have that type of background. So we're aware of all of this stuff. We can kind of tell sometimes I have troubles telling if a photo is retouched. So how would the average person kind of react to that? They'd probably be comparing themselves to these videos, to these photos. So I feel like the Khloe Kardashian unedited photo debacle is just so much bigger than what people think it is, because unedited photos are okay. Like, you can show skin texture. Like, I barely see skin texture. There are times where girls are doing like makeup tutorials, they have like a blurring filter on. Like, you can barely see like the actual texture of the makeup. It's like when I see actual skin texture, I'm like, wow, like there's skin texture here. So I think it's like a bigger deal than what people really think.
Yeah, and also, again, going back to this idea of we're seeing people trending more towards real bodies, real faces. Like, there are people like Sienna May on TikTok. She blew up. She's huge, incredibly amazing, like body positivity, like influencer. And, you know, also looking at things like CVS has something called Beauty Unaltered, it's called Beauty Mark, which is super cute, but they literally have this little like icon on their photos in store that have not been retouched, that have not been altered. There's no thinning or smoothing or anything that's been digitally altered on those. And they're like really big partners. Like, I think there was like Revlon, CoverGirl, Neutrogena, like these huge power brands that are putting these images out that have this symbol and like seal of approval that like nothing has been retouched. So I think that's amazing. Also, that's something to talk about with photographers. You know, if you get booked on a shoot where you have to deliver a photo that is perfect out of the gate, I mean, I can't tell you, like, I literally just did a campaign with a brand where I had to deliver no retouched images, and it had to be perfect lighting, like everything had to be perfect in camera. And we could do like a little bit of like an exposure adjustment. Like, you could do some like hue saturation changes if it was like a little bit off, but otherwise there was no retouching. And I got that. Like, it was great, but like as a photographer, it's way more challenging to do those because you know you don't have any wiggle room in post, that you just have to get it right. And I think it comes a lot down to lighting. Like, you can make some magic with lighting, make people look so beautiful or crazy or like exact. Like, there's all different ways that you can use lighting to make people feel a certain emotion or look a certain way.
People don't realize how powerful lighting is, because different types of light accentuates different types of lines on the face and just brings out like different textures on the face. So like, okay, let's say there would be no retouching. At the same time, you're still using things like professional lighting. You still have a makeup artist, a hairstylist. So just always keep those things in mind. Like, don't compare yourself to what you see on the internet is really what I'm trying to say. Especially, like, I can't open the Instagram Explore page without seeing the Kardashians or somebody with the Kardashians or a product of the Kardashians or the Jenners. They are literally everywhere. And so many girls and guys probably compare themselves to the life and the faces and the bodies of these people. And I just would hate to think that they think it's a 100% like just real, unedited. So I hope you guys are hearing from us. There's definitely work done. I mean, you're talking about people who spend years practicing dodge and burn retouching, which is really professional retouching. Like me and Flannery can definitely tell, like, this is dodge and burn retouching, this is frequency separation, this is iPhone app skin blurring. We can tell what level of retouching was done to a photo. We can tell what type of modifier was used, what type of light modification, if there was a reflector, diffuser. I mean, just so many little things that go into one photo. I'm talking about giant teams of. You think that Kardashians or Jenners are gonna release a photo that's not perfect and goes through 15 people? Absolutely not. It's not gonna happen. I'm sure even those pictures on their Instagram probably go through like 5 people. I don't know. What do you think? Right? There's no way.
Or at least like I don't know. Maybe they have. I don't know. I haven't worked with them. Like,
we're just guessing here. We're just guessing.
Yeah, we're just putting out some guesstimates. But yeah, I mean, they definitely, at least when they work with other brands, they have teams that work with them to deliver. I mean, hundreds of images. It's like it's a whole production behind them. But yeah, you should never look at pretty much anyone in the celebrity sphere. They have these teams of people behind them that are working to make them look a certain way. And, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, to like have fun and like do creative shoots or have fun in the beauty space. Like I posted something recently where I talked about my insecurities coming into the beauty space as like a creator and someone who just works in beauty. I was very self-conscious about it. And I had to like kind of deal with that because I didn't consider it to be a real job, or I didn't think it was something that was a good enough job. And I had to kind of like work through that. But there is something very valuable about having self-worth and about like looking in the mirror and thinking that you're beautiful. But also we can't put these crazy beauty standards on ourselves that aren't real. They're completely unrealistic, and you just have to like keep that in the back of your mind and just remember that people will never post their off days. They will always post them at their best. It is their highlight reel on Instagram pretty much no matter what. So definitely I try and find like a mix of people that I follow that are like, you know, real body positive people who are just hyper creative in the beauty space or outside of the beauty space. And, you know, it kind of like brings you back down to earth a little bit.
I think for me, like, my aim is to just educate the public about retouching. Because, again, I just feel like the general public won't know things like the patch tool or masking or healing brush tool, all those things that we would know about. But again, unless you use Photoshop, which actually is pretty cool, but Photoshop is really intimidating. And now I feel like there's so many different apps that you can use to, you can apply makeup in these apps. There's an app called Face App. Literally, they put makeup on you. They do a whole makeup look.
Yes, Photoshop now has that. It's called neural filters, where you literally. What? Also, they do aging.
Stop that right
we
now.
can make ourselves look like,
can we do
like
that?
80-year-old best friends. Like we could do that. That'd be really fun.
Can we do it after?
Age ourselves. Yeah, that'll be the thumbnail. We'll like age ourselves.
I mean, I'm telling you, the things that they come up with is just absolutely crazy. Like, what? The thing is, how much is too much? What's going too far with the retouching?
So I have had a client, and I've only had this happen one time ever, and I won't go into detail of who it was or what happened, but it was the first time I've ever had to get a client on the phone and tell them point blank that I just ethically and morally could not do more retouching on the image batch that I had been sent. And yeah, I have never experienced that before because I have amazing clients and I work with amazing people that love their bodies and don't want things to be like crazy retouched or like morphed. So I'm lucky in that respect. But I had a client where I had to get them on the phone and be like, hey, I can't do more. So if you're a photographer out there, if you're a creative and you feel like you shouldn't be doing more on this image. Like, it's not right. You need to stand your ground. You need to, like, ethically and morally stand behind your beliefs and tell the clients, like, you're not going to do that. And I truly think that the person I was dealing with may have had some sort of like body dysmorphia themselves, because they were the middleman to this other very high profile celebrity client. And, you know, it was almost like it was getting lost in translation, and then the client didn't actually want them retouched that much. So sometimes you have to work with people who think that they know what the client wants or is pushing too much. So it could also be someone in the middle that you're dealing with that pushes you to do more retouching. But don't do it. Don't do it.
If you gotta call somebody and be like, hey, I literally can't do any more retouching to this image, that's when you know it's gone too far.
Way too far. You're like 10 steps
when
too
you
far.
When you don't even send an email anymore, you're just like, you need to call me right now.
Yeah.
It's a little much.
I know. Do you do that? I've never done that.
I think
until then I was like,
I think when things get a little more serious, like, you know that this, like, when you think that something can be misinterpreted and you're like, okay, this person's gonna think I'm like the biggest jerk, let me just call them to make sure they don't think I'm like roasting them. That's when I get on the phone and I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to roast you and ruin your life, but 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't swap out your face, okay? We can't put you into a space and make it look real. Like, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So there's just definitely like where people go too far. But then, again, it goes back to the unrealistic beauty standards that some celebrities perpetuate. And again, they could have such a huge influence in such a good way, but they choose to just, like, again, just, it's like a vicious cycle where, like, now they have to keep up with the perfect photos that they keep posting. Like, imagine one day you're just not feeling good and you don't feel like putting on makeup or whatever. Like, you feel like you have to because you set yourself up to this level that you can't even compete with what you created. Did you see that one moment at Jersey Shore where Nicole's writing like the note or something and she's like, I don't want to deal with the drama that we created. She's like, I don't want to deal with the drama that we started. It's kind of like that.
There it is.
It's pretty much it. That sums this whole thing up. Like, they created this beauty standard so unrealistic that they have a hard time competing and fitting into they're literally what they contributed to.
That's why I love people like Sienna May, because she is authentically herself and she posts everything just point blank. There's no adjusting or filters or changes, and I just really respect that. And I think for the younger generation to look up to a person like that is like so needed. It's so needed right now.
I don't like posting photos of myself because I just don't like, I have a certain way I like to be photographed as a photographer. You know, you like some certain types of lighting and poses. So I don't necessarily like getting my picture taken. So I definitely see a lot of pressure on especially younger girls or younger guys too, to like just have this perfect life. But like Flannery said, it's just a highlight reel. No one's going to show the bad moments. Like when my cat pooped in my laundry basket. I didn't post that. I said it in a video, but I should.
Yeah, they know.
I'm just not going to post. Yeah, but you know what? Maybe I will. Hopefully she doesn't do that. But maybe I'll post more of like the you know what I do actually? I try my best to kind of just post all about my life, even the not so great moments. I think that's important for people to see, like they're also going through things that you're going through. So I think it's important.
I feel like in all the videos that we shoot, Jess, you always take one for the team. You're always like, I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to do that crazy thing in public. We're like, okay.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take one for the team.
I've done so many things that make me uncomfortable when it comes to photography.
That's great. It gets you out of your comfort zone, you know? It's good. It's healthy. It's healthy.
And I just go back to being an introvert.
Same. I feel like most photographers, though, feel that way about pictures of themselves, like, because you spend your whole life looking at images, looking at lighting, like wardrobe or set design, and for someone to take a photo of you is really hard. I feel like especially like you're handing the camera to someone who isn't a photographer, so you're like
the exposures, come on, like I don't
just
know.
like at least point it in my direction. That's like
The photos out of focus.
Get me in frame.
It's blurry. I swear, one time
just-
that happened to me. All the pictures were blurry. I felt so bad. I'm like, okay, like I'm not gonna keep asking them to take pictures. You have to like manually set the focus for mine, like focus point. Yeah,
it's just not good. Yeah. But I mean, hey, like
I thank them for the job that they did.
Yeah, always,
I appreciate the effort.
You know? Effort, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for
Loved
the effort.
It was great.
You know what?
Great.
I wonder how the photographers who work for the Kardashians and Jenners feel. That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. But also, you know, that work is being exposed to so many people in so many different places that, you know, I think the people who are working with the Kardashians are doing more of the campaign stuff. You know, they aren't necessarily hiring people for these, like, personal photos.
Yeah,
like,
yes,
stuff that they're just posting
on their Instagram.
No, they might have help with, like, some, like, editing stuff, but, like, when they're on a family trip, like, it's their family taking photos of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're all, like, it's
But
the
most of their
Kardashians taking
feed-
pictures of the Kardashians. Like, I do think they have, like, their campaign stuff, and then I think they have some, like, go-to photographers that will come to their house or come shoot them, or when they travel sometimes. But, I mean, the iPhone pics, I can just tell when it's an iPhone picture. You know? Like,
Yeah.
I know the focal length. I know, like, the quality. I can tell. I know.
That flash.
That flash. The
iPhone flash.
Oh, man. But, I don't know. I think it's funny because I used to follow the Kardashians on social media, and then I feel like I haven't seen them maybe because I haven't been on Instagram. Maybe that's why. 'Cause I feel like they used to be every like For You page. They were just on the top.
I don't even follow them, and they still pop up in my feed.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know.
Why are you following them?
I'm not. I go out of my way, and I should just block them at this point.
You should.
They like honestly, as soon as I go on their feed, I instantly feel bad about myself. I swear to you. Like they have like the perfect life, giant house, perfect nice pool. Yeah, I instantly feel bad when I go to their feed. So I just try to not do that. But what is the consensus here? Do we feel bad for Khloe Kardashian having her picture up?
On this one, no, I
she
don't
looked
feel bad for
great, you guys.
Khloe.
She looked great.
Yeah, like I definitely don't feel bad for her. You know, she is in the public eye. This is just one small, minuscule bump in the road that in a week will mean nothing. It's just like the news of today. And, you know, she's been through so much already. She'll obviously get through this, no problem. You know, I think she'll be fine. She'll be great. She'll come out of this stronger than ever. But that picture is definitely on the internet somewhere. Like, again, word of caution. If you post anything on the internet, it's there forever. Like, don't think it's like you can delete it again, because you absolutely cannot. It is
Your
there
lawyers
for
can't
life.
get it taken off.
No.
That was a whole spectacle right there. Her lawyers trying to come after everybody. Like, it was crazy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, even they blocked it on Reddit too. Like, somebody posted it on Reddit and they got it taken down.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think we're not gonna post it in this podcast or anything. Because I don't see any other YouTubers posting the picture, and I definitely don't want this video taken down. So, Khloe's lawyers don't come after us, please.
Please, thank you.
To end this, I think always remember, it's not what is that? There's one saying. It's like, you know, what you see is not always the reality. What is it like what you see?
What you see is what you get. That's
no, it's
not
something
it.
That's a Britney Spears song.
That's not the one.
What you see is what you get. No, don't believe everything that you see on the internet. That's it. Hello? Flannery. And Flannery has disappeared.
You're
Flannery.
frozen, aren't you?
Did the lawyers get you? Did Chloe's lawyers send you that cease and desist? I think a good way to end this is don't believe everything you see on the internet. Wait, no, I rhymed last time. I said don't believe everything you see online. I don't know. I rhymed somehow.
I don't think that rhymes.
It rhymed before. Oh no, I said don't believe what you see. Damn, how did I rhyme it last time? Don't believe
Was it
everything
even
you
rhyming?
see online.
Don't believe. That's not.
Don't believe.
I don't think any of that rhymes.
Well, I don't know.
What
It
you
rhymes
see,
somehow.
Do not believe.
Do not believe
The same.
everything you see. Believe
See.
and see rhyme.
No, I don't think so.
See,
It's so
believe.
close. See, believe. If it was like believe, what you see. It's close.
Don't believe. Yeah. But essentially, without rhyming, I would just say don't compare yourself to images and photos that you see on the internet. That's pretty much it. Like, just know there's a lot of work behind each photo. There's a whole team of professionals. These people have an entourage that work on these photos. They have a production team. They have people to come set up lights. They have makeup, hair. They have a professional stylist. They have literally PR people who work for them, a team of lawyers. So it's not just one person just happens to post a really nice photo and, oh, wow, okay, candid picture. There's a lot more behind it than you think. So we hope that next time you see a photo that's looking a little bit too perfect, you'll remember that Photoshop was involved there.
A 100%. And then, try and follow people that are body positive, that you'll look at their social media accounts and you won't feel depressed or you won't feel bad about yourself. You curate your own life and what you see online. So don't try and expose yourself to people or things that make you feel bad. So it's all within your power to curate your online experience. And yeah, don't take for granted any photos online. They definitely have been altered at some point, and kudos to the people who just post their natural bodies and spread body positivity around. We salute you. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, don't follow people who make you feel bad. Look at who you're following and think to yourself, does this person make me feel inspired? Or does this person make me feel bad about myself or get me to compare my life to something else? And I think that really would make a difference on your mental health as well.
Yeah. And I think there is a distinction between like aspirational content where you look at and you're saying you like get inspired or you feel like the work is really beautiful or you want to share it. But there is like that line that you cross when you just start to feel like icky about it. When you look at something and you don't feel better than when you started. And I think that's the main difference. So whether it is aspirational, there are tons of beautiful things online. Go look at those, be inspired. I mean, I'm addicted to Pinterest. I can admit, like, full addiction every day,
Pinterest?
lots of
You're
hours.
so cute.
Pinterest, I love it. I'm obsessed. But it's all with like a grain of salt. It's like mood boards for your life. It's like I'm constantly curating things that I like love and want in my life versus like just curating things that like I look at and I'm like, oh, I don't have that, or I want to be that, or why doesn't my body look that way? So that's the difference, So just curate good things and feel better about yourself.
That's what I started to do. Anybody who made me feel bad about myself or kept posting the perfect life, I'm like, unfollow. And I don't feel bad about it because I got to look out for myself.
Yeah. You got to, like Marie Kondo, where you got to like pick up the item and say like, does this bring me joy? That's what you got to do with your Instagram. You got to pick up these little pages and be like, yo, do you make me feel good? No? Okay, bye. Like, gotta go.
Follow the meme
like,
pages. The meme pages.
All the meme pages.
All the meme pages. All right, guys. So that's a wrap on this episode. We talked about unedited photos, retouching, all that stuff. We really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And go on our website if you want. Whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Find us at Light Muse Podcast. We're there on all the platforms. So
yes.
Come find us.
Oh, yeah. Find us at Light Muse Podcast. I forgot to mention that. My first time doing the outro. So, with that being said, thank you to my co-host, Wink Wink Flannery Underwood, looking like an angel. You guys got to hop on YouTube and just see, like, she's looking gorgeous. Supermodel right here.
Oh my God, but we're twinning today. We got our little beige moment happening with all our little beige fits and our white doors behind us. It's great.
I love it.
We're the same person.
Follow us on YouTube if you guys, you know what, honestly, do whatever you guys want, but
you can find us at Light Muse if you want to see it.
I'm the worst at this. I'm like, if you want, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
wait, we're on YouTube. People are probably watching this on YouTube.
Oh, if you are, that would be, or listening to us on the podcast.
Follow us for more.
Follow
on
us.
Instagram.
I'm never doing another outro again. This is the last outro.
I'm not on Twitter, though.
Oh my God.
I don't think we have a Twitter.
We do have a Twitter.
Do we?
Well, just find us on there. And don't take our name if we didn't make it yet. That'd be messed up.
Yeah.
Imagine we go on.
That's good. Someone else got it.
Someone else gets it. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys in our next episode.